Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rishabh and you're watching day 5 of SQL. Okay, so without taking much of your time, we'll get started. So today's agenda of this video is we are going to learn about union and union all. So in the layman's term, you can understand that union and union all is used to join two or more thing into one. Okay, in the most layman terms, you need at least minimum of two uh, elements which can be joined. So that's why you need at least two stuff to join together, and that is where you are going to use union and union all. Okay, minimum is two, and you can go more than any number of two. Let me start with a query. So there are basic some criteria that is actually defined, so how you can merge the result sets. Okay, so that I'll be explaining one by one. So let's start with the select query, and we'll give a alias for this one as first column. Okay, and I run this, we get x, right? Do the same thing, y, and this one will give this as second column. And if I run this right now, we get two different result sets. Okay, one with the first column, another one with the second column, y, x and y. Okay, but there can be a scenario in your a tech solution or in your business where you need to merge this result sets. So that's where the union comes into the picture. Okay, let me use the whole caps. Now if I run this, you can say we have one column which is nothing but the first column. Okay, followed by the second select query value. Okay, so this is how you're going to merge the two query. You need to use the union, and then you're going to merge the columns or the result sets. Okay, so that's the first requirement, that you need to have two queries, minimum of two query you want to join. Okay, so for example, I can use one more union keyword and you know and use this one as C as a third column. And I run this, as you can see, it says as XYZ. Okay, so minimum of two, and above that you can use any number. So that is union. So the first criteria I've explained you, that it is always used on more than one query, minimum of two, and above that you can take any many numbers of that. That's that. So as you can see here, one thing we can notice that it is always keeping the column number as the first one. Okay, so if I give something as say Rishabh and I run this, it follows the same thing. Okay, so always uh, keep note of this point, that if you want a particular name of a column while you are using union, make sure that you define in the first select query itself. Okay, or maybe try to keep everything common in all the remaining select queries. Okay, so that way you'll not have any confusion and you'll get your expected results. So that's one. Okay, so the second one is, so we'll revert back so I can explain you the second criteria. So second criteria, it says that we need to have same number of column. Okay, and same data type in the both the select queries. As you can see, for now we have the x. Okay, so since we have put this into the quotes, it will act as a varchar or string. Okay, right, this is also string, this is also string, this is also string. So we have satisfied this particular criteria, that it has to be a same data type. Okay, in both the select queries, here we are using three, so in all the select queries. Okay, and it should have the same number of column. So as of now, the both this condition are satisfied, so that's why we are getting no error, and we are getting the result sets, getting the result sets are getting merged in one column. Okay, now let's just say we try to break one rule. Okay, let's just say we try to break this. It should not, it does not have the same number of column. What I do, I'll add another string. I'll say here a. Okay, and I'll say a new column. Okay, new column, new column. Now if I run this, first let me show you that this is a valid select query. Okay, cool. First column and the new column. Now when I run this, So you see, you get an error. It says that the union, intersect, and the except operator must have equal number of expressions. When you say equal number of expression, that means it should have equal number of columns. Okay. So that's where you need to understand that we need to have same number of column. Then only you can use the union or the union on. Okay. So far, whatever I've talked, it both gets applied to the union and union all. So there is only one slide says, which I'll explain you in the last part, where the union all is different from the union. Okay. So let me remove this. We are back to square one. And if I run this again, so we are back to square one, XYZ, and it is merged. Okay. So first we saw that it has to be same number of column. So it's cool. Second, we need to have same data type in the both select query. Okay. So let's try to uh, do that. Okay, right now you can see that this is in the quotes. So of course this is in a string. What I will do, I will make this as one. Okay, so this will nothing but a integer variable. Okay, integer value. Okay, let me just run this select query so that we can see that this is a valid select query. We are able to see value 1. Okay, now we want to merge this. Okay, so we are uh, satisfying this particular condition that we can use union on more than one select query. That is fine. Second, it should have same number of column. Of course, we have one column in the first select query. In the second select query also we have only one column. Even in the third select query we have only one column. We are just messing with this uh, criteria where it needs to have same data type. What we have done, we have changed one data type which was earlier string. Okay, now we are going to go ahead with the uh, integer. Okay, now when we try to merge this, okay, when we try to use the union with this, it says it is throwing an error. It says that conversion failed while converting varchar x to data type in. So when it was trying to merge from here to here, it said that it had an error while converting from varchar to the int. They cannot. Okay, so that's this another thing you learn, that it needs to have same data type. You cannot merge varchar into integer or integer to varchar. You cannot do that. It has to be varchar with varchar or integer with integer. I can remove this. I can give 2 over here and I can run only this two part. This should not throw me an error because we are satisfying it. It is more than one query. Okay, to use the union, then we have only one column and then we have the same data type. This should not give me an error. Correct. As you can see, this is without any error. Right now, the moment I want to use this, this was integer. This is an again varchar. This should throw an error, of course, right? So that's your second characteristic, or the criteria is also explained. Now we are coming to the third. So this says that it just merges data, so that we are uh, quite aware of it, that of course it merges data and it excludes duplicate. So this is only for union. Okay, let me just show you how it excludes the duplicate. If I run this right now, so it gives me XYZ, no issues because all we have every value distinct XYZ, so there was no duplicate over here, so it did not exclude that. Now let me put a X over here. Okay, now just remember the result sets, it was XYZ. Okay, now when I run this, and also uh, currently if it should not, if it wouldn't have removed the duplicate, we would have got XXZ. Okay, but when we run this, you can see that we only got one X and the another Z, right, Z. So the another X, which was duplicate, that got excluded. So this happens only in case of union. Okay, the moment we use union all, right, so difference between the union and union all is nothing but that in the union you exclude the duplicate, but in union all you include. Okay, include the duplicate. This is union all. Let's run this. As you can see, x x and z. Okay, it did not remove the duplicate. Let's try this. I'm not sure what we'll get, but let's just try. Okay, this is also fine, because at the end we are using the union all. So from till here we got both x, because we had xx. Okay, and we are using union all. Okay, now after that, when we use the union, it removed the duplicate. Okay, we had two x's and one z. So when we ran this, we get one x and one z. So this is union versus union all. I hope you understood whatever I've tried to explain in the very basic and layman terms. Hope this would help you and lots of freshers. Thank you. Signing off.